It's been quite the ride.
Mm-hmm.
The last few years, I've been feeling the spiritual awakening. I've been feeling the calling of elevating frequencies and being more aware of the consciousness of the world. And the journey has led me to realizing that, I mean, I knew I was meant for more, but now I'm really feeling it. And I've had these experiences. The only word that I can find for it is basically supernatural, because it's things that I can't quite explain or put my finger on. All these tingling sensations and kind of images that rush, kind of channeling stuff, as I've learned. It's a bit overwhelming. It's quite the ride. It's quite the process. And finding Human Garage has given so much light to this process, because I don't know, if you're raised in mainstreaming culture, these things are not, I
Yeah,
mean, this is
sure.
weird, right?
Yeah, I mean,
This is weird.
it was weird all the way
For,
until it
for
wasn't
the
weird anymore, and then everybody else is weird.
Exactly. That's how I feel now. That's how I feel now. Like, people look at me like the weirdo, but I'm realizing that the weirdos are them now, because I've gotten to a point where I've been able to raise my frequency a lot, and now I'm aware of other things that I'm working on. Oh my God, I know it's such a confusing process. I'm
No,
sorry if
no,
I'm
no.
ranting and
I
blunting.
relate to that. I mean, it's because over the last since basically 2019, you got an awakening, and then 2020, it's just been like ripping every part of your life apart, so that you can, and exposing you so that you can awaken right now. I mean, it's changing right now in front of you. It's like all these things that I've been waiting for years, like the way the world's going to be, the way I'm going to show up in the world. It's just all coming together right now.
It is. It is. I've been feeling that, and it's kind of like a crushing sensation at some point, like huge wave of information that's crushing, but it's not like physical data. I don't know how to explain it. It's not like physical data. It's just a bunch of feelings of waves. Like a moment ago when we were doing this the session with this girl from the war zone, I was able to connect at such deep level that I kept feeling waves and waves and waves of expanding energies. I don't know, I'm getting goosebumps and everything. Waves and waves of this light, like it was surrounding the area, but like it wasn't just me. I felt like there were other bodies at some different points, cardinal points, like also expanding this kind of energy. I don't know if it
No,
sounds crazy or
you
what.
were feeling is what I was doing was using every single person that was on this frequency in the world to triangulate through her and give an experience to the area. And you're part of that. You're a Virgo Sag. I'm a Sag Virgo.
So I'm really interested in trying to understand a little bit how my birth chart can give me a little bit of guidance, because even though I kind of see things clearly, I'm an overthinker. Okay,
You're
I
learning
tend
to
to
believe.
overthink.
You're learning to believe that you don't have to know everything. Yeah. So
Indeed, I don't have
that's
to.
why you're feeling that way, is because what's coming at us, or the time that we're in, it's impossible to know. We don't have enough space up here to process all. I mean, I have a really good command of what's happening in my body, what's happening energetically around me, what the astrology is, when birds show up, what they mean. And I can't even begin to process it. Like I was trying to define everything that came into my world, and then I'm like, I can't even do this anymore. I have to let go. So it's really, for me, it's just about being present. not trying to control it, not trying to understand it or understand it, just to be present. And when something shows up that seems like it's horrible, now my way of looking at it, I kind of laugh and I chuckle and I say, oh, this is a good one. Let's see how this one works out. Because it's all working out. And it's trusting that it all works out. Because the only reason we need to know is because we fear.
And it's so interesting that you mentioned that, because I kept getting this message like in the back of my head telling me, like, it was kind of harsh for me to understand, but it was like, pain is necessary. Yes. And pain is a teacher. And not for everyone, but pain has a lot to teach humanity, and we have to go through that pain and feel that pain so that we raise our level of consciousness. It's what
you've been going through that already. Yeah,
indeed.
You took a willing choice to go through it. You didn't have to. You could have just closed your eyes like everybody else and said that's weird, but you chose to actually go through it. That's what we did. And now we're on the other side of it, and even the things that look like they should be painful aren't painful anymore.
Or painful in another kind of different
perceptually,
way.
Emotionally. It doesn't have to be physical, but until the pain of staying the same is greater than the pain of changing, human beings tend to stay the same. And right now, we've been taught to fear pain, so pain becomes more painful. Even mechanically in your body, if you have a 2 out of 10 pain on your arm, okay, and your body, you get stressed out, so you fire adrenaline or epinephrine or cortisol. That 2 out of 10 becomes very quickly a 6. So pain itself is relative to the experience. And we've been taught to fear pain. So when we have pain, we have fear. I don't want pain. Pain is bad. Pain means I'm something wrong. And because of that, pain elevates 2 to 3 times that it's experiential. We experience it 2 to 3 times more. So when I go, okay, you know, like part of me, we were at Joshua Tree, and when we were done with the event, I had a pain come up. My body was shifting. I know what it was too. My body was shifting. My rib cage was slightly torqued. It was settling in, but I couldn't breathe, and I had pain here. And I chose, instead of trying to fix it like I always do, I said, I'm going to sit in this. So I sat in it for like 3 days. And over that 3 days, I got so many lessons because I could have fixed it right away. But I remember having pain when I was 7 years old. I remember having pain when I was 13. I remember all these times where I felt pain there, but I didn't do anything about it. Or I felt helpless, or I felt weak, or I felt not good enough. And then this time I sat in there knowing that it was all going to go away, knowing it was an experience, and that gave me power over my pain.
Okay, that's interesting that you're telling me that. I've been dealing with a situationship. One's physical, the other one I'm starting to realize it's kind of probably spiritual in some way. So I got an injury in L4, L5, L5S1, a hernia, which was basically an extrusion, and I was probably 2 steps from falling onto a wheelchair. I think, as I mentioned, pain was one of the things that was difficult to accept, but once I accepted it, I started learning from it, because I always kind of
right side?
On the left side, actually.
Okay, so the left side is where the umbilical cord attaches to the spine, because the umbilical cord would go through and the spine forms and then goes up to the brain. So that's actually the emotional attachment, or the detachment from your mother's emotions.
Interesting, because I've been working on that a lot, on getting to roots of lineage and karmic lineage and etc.
That was it.
So
that's what you were working on. And you're working on it with consciousness in this world, and your body is going, okay, you got the lesson now. I'm gonna let go of that, whatever that trauma was that was holding there.